Employers of labor have been told to focus on objective of helping executives in improving their health in various aspects to increase their well-being for more fulfillment in life. Management experts believe employers of such executives stand to benefit as health of the executive as an employee will lead to increased corporate productivity. Potter's Outreach says those sick and tired of being sick must be encouraged by their employers to stay healthy. Sherry Wright, a foremost leadership development expert and a trustee of Potter's Outreach, tells us more about health crisis facing executives and how employers can fix it.
This year, we are focusing on health because we believe that for any organization, for any community, for a nation, the health of the people really matters a lot. So if you can take care of someone's health, like someone said, health is wealth. So we take care of the person's health. Certainly there will be increased productivity within the community with that person operates. So we are focusing on health for starters, but there are other areas we focus on later, which includes leadership, family, stewardship, and any other area that would enable the person, our focus group, to become the best they're capable of becoming. Active health, essentially we are looking at people that are employed in organizations, not necessarily the top executive, but even middle management, lower management. We are looking at people engaged. Because organizations are facing challenges because of the inadequate productivity, a low level productivity of their employees. You have people going to organizations who may not be as productive as they should be. Now, a significant part of that could be the health situation. And that's why we now have an organization what we call presenteeism, not just absenteeism. Absenteeism is what we focus on for so long. But presenteeism is that the person has actually come to work, but the productivity is low.
He also advised Nigerians to embrace healthy lifestyle to stay alive.
Most people react, obviously, is when they see a symptom, that they take action. And what you're saying is vital. People should be conscious, should be aware of the importance of staying healthy. So you don't have to wait until you fall sick. You can do your checkup regularly, and even if you have a symptom that is not deteriorated to a large extent, you have the choice to take action and to be more educated. Yes, there are some people who are financially challenged, so they want to go to the hospital, and sincerely, I can empathize with them. But there are several types of hospitals that can cater for their needs. I mean, health situations sometimes could just be bad lifestyle habits. Something as simple as drinking enough water so you don't get dehydrated. Something as simple as exercising. Something as simple as not being sedentary in your life. Get off the chair at work. Walk around. Take a break. Reach out to loved ones. Don't stay too long in front of the computer for ensuring or improving the health of the executives. Maybe I can step it a bit further by saying, for instance, something as simple as vacation. People believe they're committed to their work by not going on vacation. But I think organizations can actually, in the real sense of the word, begin to enforce vacations. Go on leave. Just go on leave. I'm not just saying once in a year. We just break it down to 2 or 3 parts. Go on leave. And then not just going on leave. People should be taking regular breaks. Okay? Yes, there's a 24/7 demand. There's a high level of pressure. But people can be more productive if they're given a chance to sharpen the saw.
This is Emily Oken, a professor in the Department of Population Medicine at Harvard Medical School and the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Institute, United States.
They might have special challenges around the stresses of work life. So we know that when you reach adulthood in Nigeria, that you have a 20 or 25% chance of dying from cardiovascular disease. And we know that stress and lifestyle factors are the most important predictor of heart disease. Cardiovascular disease means heart disease. So things like high blood pressure, stroke, heart attack, diabetes, all of those things are primarily driven not by the risk that you're born with, but the things that you do during life. And some of the behaviors that executives may engage in, for example, eating out a lot, unhealthy diet with lots of salt or fat intake, maybe sitting too many hours, sitting at a desk or sitting in conferences, meetings. All of those things are unhealthy behaviors that increase risk for things like heart disease, diabetes, and stroke.
The Harvard professor advised Nigerians to pursue healthy living against all odds.
So first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Potters Foundation for planning and executing this outstanding conference. It's really incredibly forethinking of them to focus on health. And I think that these are people who are leaders. The executives are coming and they have the opportunity not only to improve their own health, but to take that message back to their employees, their families, their workers, and really serve as a role model. So what we want are these people who are leaders in society really to say that health is an issue that affects all of us. And not just I know that this conference is not just targeted at the executives, but it's all the people that they touch in their work and their life. But my understanding is that Nigeria is really an economy in transition, and so there's certainly a lot of issues around poverty, low nutrition, childhood illness that are very important and relevant for the health of Nigerians. But one of the things that you have an economy that's starting to boom is also increasing relevance for lifestyle factors. And so these are things that we can do around, again, the basics: eating well, getting enough sleep, being physically active, not smoking, not drinking to excess. All of those factors are important for health, and they're things that you can do as an individual that you can't blame anybody else for. So I think it's a complicated issue to improve the health system. I certainly know that to get specialized care, some people may need to travel to other cities or other countries. But again, the most important part of health is really prevention. And so starting with the basics, the things that people can do to not get ill in the first place, I think it's one thing. If you develop a condition that requires specialized care, of course you want to seek the best care. But the most important thing is to do what you can in the beginning to prevent illness so that you don't get into that circumstance. So I'm not an expert in the Nigerian health system. I don't know that I have enough advice, but I think really one of the things we know is that the basics of public health in terms of not being afraid of things like vaccination, clean water, and childhood health, making sure kids have clean water, making sure kids have plenty of nutrition. I think that in general, the issue in Nigeria, like in the US, is not that there are not enough resources, but that the resources are not reaching people equally. And if there were things like, again, it's really, the most important thing is really starting out with a healthy beginning. So making sure kids have clean water, good nutrition, vaccines, and education. Those are things that will actually promote the health of the society as a whole.
Where do you see
These experts promise to focus on health, family, leadership, and stewardship for the benefit of those willing to stay healthy and gain more growth, especially in the business environment. They believe that improving the productivity of a nation, community, and organization starts with the people, as the physical, mental, and emotional health improves profits for any organization.